my name is Stephen Conway on a special edition of SkyNews. Today in the studio, we are fortunate enough to host both candidates and their campaigns for the Mayor Martin Institute election. I'll have the privilege to interview both Ben Rajadurai and Tim Cronin, the candidates in the election. This past Wednesday, the Stonehill Summit ran a front-page story on the election, introducing the candidates and their platforms onto the campus. Over the course of the next month and a half, the summit, in conjunction with SkyNews, will be the premier media coverage outlet of the election. So be sure to keep tuning in for the latest updates leading up to Election Day. Stay tuned as I'll be interviewing both Ben and Tim right after this. Hello, I'm Stephen Conway for SkyNews. Today I have the privilege of having Ben Rajadurai in the studio, candidate for the Mayor Martin election. Ben, how you doing?
Well, yourself?
Good to have you here.
Great to be on.
So tell me about yourself. Why did you get into politics?
So I got into politics mainly because I kind of feel obligated to give back to this country. 25 years ago, my parents came here as immigrants. They worked a $900 a month job. I had to live with 4 other families, and through the opportunities that this country gave us, now we're able to send our kids to good schools, own cars, live in a nice house, and send me here, right? And I think that that's something uniquely very American, and that they've lived the definition of the American dream, and I feel obligated to ensure that we can kind of give that opportunity to others as we progress forward.
How's the campaign going?
So far, so good. We've developed a pretty strong winning organization, and we're starting to get out the vote and just talk to voters and people on campus about what matters to them and what they really want to see from the next Mayor of Martin.
What makes you the best fit for the Mayor of Martin?
So I think it's just I'm very inclusive. I have strong beliefs of my own, but I don't mind listening to others, and I actually enjoy listening to others and learning from other people's viewpoints. I think that type of inclusion is exactly what the Martin Institute's all about. I think that any candidate that can foster that discussion and encourage all viewpoints and ideologies is going to be a great fit.
What separates you from the other candidates?
I think one, it's going to be my experience. I've been a leader for a long time. I've done a lot of different things in various roles, especially like being the chairman of the Massachusetts Alliance of College Republicans. We've seen tremendous growth under my chairmanship, and we've opened up 5 new chapters. And I think that the values and ideas I've learned from that are very applicable to the Martin Institute. We're going to be able to get more students in to our events, get more engagement online, and those type of activities that will really grow the Martin Institute to the next level.
In an interview at the summit, you said, quote, "I believe Tim is an establishment candidate. I know that there is a lot of backdoor dealing between the Cronin campaign, and I, as well as my campaign, feel that this race should be more about the issues. At the end of the day, the election should focus around who the best leader would be for the Martin Institute." Do you care to answer that? Care to elaborate?
Yeah, sure. So I think a great example is within a couple days of his announcement, the St. Thomas More Society released an email to their entire list, well, selectively to their entire list. They ignored me and my campaign, of course, because I remember registering for that last year, saying that, hey, make sure you vote for Tim, right? That's establishment politics. And I think that that's something that we don't need in the Martin Institute. I think that what we need is someone who's willing to talk to all sides, who's willing to not just count on his friends to vote. And I think that that someone like me who's able to go out and talk to voters is the best fit, and probably someone more inclusive than Cronin campaign.
Over the course of the campaign trail, you stressed the need for bipartisanship and having healthy discussion across both aisles.
Yep.
I mean, how do you plan to do that?
So I think it's all about continuing what the Martin Institute's already done. I think that we're a beacon of really smart bipartisan dialogue. I remember when I was younger, I was a junior in high school actually, and I came here for a debate between the Republican candidates and also the Democratic candidates. And I remember working on a Republican campaign at that point, but learning so much from the Democratic candidates. Joe Kennedy, for one, is now actually our congressman for this district. And I think that that's exactly the type of dialogue that needs to continue going forward. And I think that events like that, where we bring both sides to the table, we allow all sides to kind of get out and debate and talk and kind of just talk to our students, is something that's very, very important. Just both for the Institute to continue to grow and for its reputation to get even better than it already is, but also to create a really informed generation of students that are going to go out and make amazing progress for both Stonehill and for society. And I think that that's exactly what I can bring to this campaign.
Thoughts on the 2016 presidential election?
What a mess, huh? Like, I mean, if you told me 6 months ago that Donald Trump would be our front runner, I would have laughed you out of the room. And I'm still kind of in disbelief that that's what's going on. But I trust the voters are going to make smart choices, just like they're going to make smart choices in this race.
Okay. So over the past week, there's been a lot of buzz about whether President Obama should elect, or appoint rather, a replacement for the Supreme Court justice. I mean, do you have any thoughts on that? Should he nominate somebody? Should he wait until a next president comes in?
Yep. So the entire controversy over that week is exactly what's wrong with politics today. Within 24 hours of Justice Scalia dying, we had emails from the NRSC, emails from Harry Reid saying, "Oh my goodness, the Republicans are the worst." And Antonin Scalia was one of the most iconic Supreme Court justices we've ever had. He was on the court for 30 years. People on both sides respected him. Even Ruth Bader Ginsburg, two of the fiercest enemies that we've seen on the court, respected his passing and admired him as a friend. And the fact that politics today can't even let us admire and respect men like that is kind of sad. But in relation to whether President Obama should nominate someone, of course he should. That's his right. That's his job as a president to do it, just like it's the job of the Senate to vet and discuss that nominee. And if the Senate decides that that's not the perfect candidate, and President Obama's term expires, then it's up to the next person. And I trust that President Obama will make the right choice and pick someone that's actually for the Constitution and will uphold the role of the Supreme Court.
Describe Ben Rajadurai in one word.
I think it's experienced. I think that I've built a really solid resume of great political work as well as leadership experience, and I think that those are two amazing qualities that will carry me through this entire campaign. I think that as voters talk to me and I talk to voters, they'll see that I have a body of work that shows exactly what I can do for the Martin Institute.
Fast forward to April 21st. What's the outcome at 5 p.m.?
I think we're going to win. We've built an amazing organization across campus and on social media and on Facebook, and we're going to run a different campaign. We're not going to run it like people have run it in the past. We're gonna focus on the issues. I think I'm the only candidate so far that's actually released a set of proposals for what policies I'd implement as the mayor, and I've also started to talk to campus leaders on what they'd like me to implement. I think that those are things that are going to carry me through to a sound victory on April 21st.
All right. Thanks, Ben.
Thank you.
Well, there you have it. I'm Stephen Conway for SkyNews, and Rajadurai, a candidate for the mayor of Martin election. The election is April 21st, and details will become available of how you can vote in the coming weeks. Ben?
Yeah.
Thanks for being here.
Anytime.
Hello, I'm Stephen Conway for SkyNews. Today I had the privilege of having both Ben Rajadurai, and now I have Tim Cronin in the studio. Tim, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Thank you all here at Sky News for hosting this, giving up your time to do this debate. I appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate you coming in. Excited to have you.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about yourself. Why did you get into politics?
So, the biggest thing with me, and the biggest reason I went into politics is just give back to my community, and especially my family and my mentors. If it wasn't for, mentors in high school and the community and family members to, push me in high school and beyond, I wouldn't be here. And I feel like, Stonehill, my hometown of Weymouth, Massachusetts, all these places have given so much to me, and it would almost be disrespectful to not give back to them. So, yeah.
How's your campaign going so far?
So our campaign's going great. We actually have an awesome message, a great team, and also we're going to work the hardest of all the campaigns. We got some great consultants Thursday night, and we look forward to, getting our message out there.
Who are your consultants?
Oh, we have so many. We have, Sean Costello, Dan Shea, Joey, Paige. I can't remember all their last names. I'll admit that. Sorry, consultants I didn't mention. But it's gonna be great.
Okay.
So.
What makes you the best fit for Mayor Martin?
So I think what it comes down to is actual on-campus experience. So, Ben has experience. No one can deny that. But is it on-campus experience? And I think also, when it comes down to it as well, maybe the accusation that I'm the establishment candidate is completely false, because what it is this race is not establishment versus underdog. This is about experience. Ben has experience being chair of the Mass College Republicans, but what leadership experience does he have on campus right now? And the answer to that is none. And I think what it comes down to is when the voters come April 21st, they're going to realize who the actual candidate is who will be able to deliver on the campaign promises they made. Everyone can, can give like a platform, everyone can give a plan, but not everyone can deliver on that. And I think my track record proves that I'm willing to and able to deliver on what I promise.
Okay, so this kind of goes along with what you were just talking about, but what separates you from Ben?
So I think in terms of my plan, I have 3 parts. I want to strengthen the Martin Institute, specifically, adding an additional political science professor, speaking to Professor Bertasio and Professor Ohania, the department chair, to see what the feasibility of that is. I mean, we lost Professor Finnegan, not lost, but he's out of the department now, and it's placing a lot of burden on the existing professors. And that translates into student success. If students, if they have to, take an American government course taught by someone who doesn't do American government, I think that takes away from learning. I think professors should be able to teach within their fields, and I think we should look to see if we can add an additional political science professor there. So in addition to strengthening the Martin Institute, I want to reevaluate the services on campus. I think, things from cars all the way to Sodexo, these are all issues students care about. And I think we need to talk and just to community leaders and listen to what the Stonehill students want. With cars specifically, I am 100% for allowing freshmen to have cars on campus. I think we could do restrictions. Freshmen could only be allowed to park in 17. I think those are all reasonable. My one thing is that I don't know if we need the fee that has been added to regular parking. $30 isn't a lot for everyone, but there are students out there who are in need, with $30 is a lot. In addition to that, I think we should foster additional student dialogue. The Martin Institute has great resources, rooms, that can be used by movements like the divestment movement, the It's On Us campaign, and various clubs. And I think we need to continue to utilize that and make it more accessible to clubs. So those are just a couple of things I hope to do.
Sure. You mentioned on the campaign trail that you have a very diverse team, saying that it strengthens you as a unit. Why do you think that is? Can you speak a little bit about that?
So our team's diverse in a multitude of fashions. We got Democrats, Republicans, we got Libertarian over there, and of course a couple independents. But even besides that, I think our networks are so diverse. Like we touch almost every aspect of the Stonehill campus, and also our networks extend beyond the Stonehill campus. I think that diversity and the diversity of opinion will allow this campaign to be an honest campaign. If I do something wrong, I can trust that my team will tell me that I did something wrong. I think that's invaluable with running a campaign like this. So,
in a recent interview with the Summit,
mm-hmm.
you talked about how you feel what separates you from Ben is experience. You said, quote, Ben does have experience, but I do not think it's necessarily the best for the Martin Institute. You explained, elaborated this a little bit before, but can you just kind of make it more concrete? What's the experience and what separates it from your experience?
So I have actual on-campus experience. Ben is the chair of the Mass College Republicans in the state level, but his leadership on campus is lacking. A specific example of that, I helped him run for Senate last year as commuter senator. Ben ran, Ben got the position, Ben checked it off on his resume, but after that, he didn't come. He went to DC, he failed to inform the executive president about that, and I think that is just the type of leadership that we do not want in Martin. I think the voters are going to look at that, and they're going to realize that I have the ability and the track record to actually deliver on what I say. So, and this is also a tangent, but the mayor of Martin does not have formal position, formal titles or formal powers, but the mayor of Martin does have the privilege of being able to bring up these issues to the faculty and the students. And I think when it comes down to it is, hopefully I'm elected April 21st. The first thing I'll do is schedule a meeting with all of the department heads in Martin. And I'm gonna say, look, this is what I wanted to do. This is what the people wanted me to do. They elected me, and let's do this. Let's increase speakers on campus. Let's fix the desks in Martin. Basic things like that, like things that just need to be done. So, yeah.
What are your thoughts on the 2016 presidential election?
Oh gosh, I think this is going to be the election that we're going to speak to our children and speak to each other about how this was the craziest election in our lives. I think everyone has that, speak to your aunt or your uncle or your grandfather. I think this will be the election that we'll remember the most. And also it's cool because this is our first one. But I think I'm just gonna say crazy at this point.
Okay. Do you have any thoughts, opinions on the recent controversy between whether President Obama should nominate a replacement for Judge Scalia in the Supreme Court, or?
Yeah. So Judge Scalia, he was a very principled man. He did good work. He stood up for his principles, and he was the model of what we need in terms of interpreting the Constitution for Supreme Court justices. I think the political rhetoric back and forth on both sides of this issue is just completely unproductive to this country. We need 9 Supreme Court justices. I think that the idea that Obama shouldn't be appointing someone is just ludicrous. I mean, the longest we have had a vacancy in the Supreme Court is 180 days. If Obama doesn't nominate a successor, then we're looking at upwards of 350. I mean, I think if we want to follow what the Constitution says, Obama needs to nominate them, and then we need to go through the democratic process of letting our representatives decide. Like, just because Obama just nominates them doesn't mean that that person becomes a member of the Supreme Court. So I think that this whole thing just needs to. I just think that we need to work away from partisan politics, and this is something also that we talk about on our campaign. My team is committed to having a bipartisan and independent focus for this campaign. If you're a Democrat, you're a Republican, doesn't matter. This campaign is about the issues on campus. We're not going to make this into something like, a Supreme Court nomination battle. This is going to be an actual campaign for the issues for the students who use the Martin Institute and for the students who are on campus and are affected by these things. So
if somebody asked you, and I'm asking you right now.
Okay, so as long as that's clear.
Describe Tim Cronin in one word.
I'd say leadership. I think on campus, I'm currently representing the class of 2018 as senator. I mean, I'm the president of the St. Thomas More Pre-Law Society. I've been involved with my residence hall. I've been involved with clubs like the Outdoor Adventure Club. I think what it comes down to is I have a multitude of different types of involvement on campus, and I can speak or I know people who are, in the Residence Hall Association, who are in SGA, who are on program committee. I think when it comes down to it, Tim Cronin, and my leadership experience will be necessary and important to not only win this race, but making sure the results actually become concrete things.
Fast forward to the election in April. What's the outcome at 5 p.m.?
I think my team will be very happy. I think our message is great. I think our team is strong, and I think we're going to work the hardest. And I hope that the people of Martin, of the people on campus, and everyone who will be voting will look at both of us and realize who has actual on-campus leadership, who's not only willing to talk the talk, but to actually follow through with what they promise. And I hope that they would choose me, but I think our team will be very happy. So,
Tim, thanks for being here.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate it. Yeah. So make sure to tune in for SkyNews and the Summit, as there'll be the premier media coverage for the Mayor of Martin Institute election. Thank you for Tim and Ben. For now, this is Stephen Conway signing off for SkyNews.